Hello, and welcome to the Keep It Local Maine podcast, where we tell the stories of local business owners, artists, and entrepreneurs, and learn more about what they do, who and what inspires them, their challenges, successes, and more. My name is Todd Regalinski.
And I am Kimberly Regalinski.
And we are the publishers of Keep It Local Maine, a magazine that helps to showcase local businesses to the people in and around their communities. Thank you for tuning in to our weekly podcast that you can subscribe to on most streaming services such as Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and others. You can learn more about us at keepitlocalmaine.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube through the links in the show notes. In this episode, we'll be talking with Barry and Stacy Miller from Sea Love. Barry and Stacy are a husband and wife team who love making and creating and adore the lifestyle of coastal living. Their small batch candles are in 500 plus retail stores across the United States, all inspired by a feeling, a moment, a place. The list goes on. In summer 2020, they opened Maine's first DIY custom fragrance experience in Kennebunkport. Their candle bar and boutique is meant to inspire and designed to help you bring memories to life with the art of scent blending and pouring your own. They are passionate about fragrance and helping you create a space you love and feel alive in, and reflect a life well lived. And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Weather is getting warmer and it's project planning season, which means you should call Maine Commercial Contracting, your locally owned choice for residential and commercial services in southern Maine. They'll be there for that new driveway, walkway, or excavation for your home and for your business with parking lot paving, road milling, heavy hauling, and competitive commercial pricing. So when you need your project done right and on your timeline, get a hold of the company with the appetite for excellence and the skills to see it through. Call Maine Commercial Contracting at 207-391-0540 for a free estimate or find them online at mainecommercialcontracting.com.
Welcome to the show, Stacy and Barry. We're so glad to have you here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We're so happy to be here.
We're so excited to hear about your business. This is super exciting. So tell us, why did you become interested in candle making and how did you decide to turn that into this amazing business?
Well, like so many, I'm obsessed with candles. I've always had a love for design and passion for creating ambient spaces. I love how a candle can add to a space, enhance a gathering, and help create special moments. And after years of searching for a quality candle that didn't bother Barry's asthma and make him cough, I just started doing some research and realized it wasn't just the synthetic oils that were toxic, but the entire anatomy of candle components, the oils, the wick, and the wax. So after a lot of learning and expensive mistakes, I started sharing my candles with friends and family. They encouraged me to share them with the world. And that is an exact quote from my good friend Tracy. I'll never forget. And so, with the incredible support of Barry, we just both worked side hustle while working corporate jobs. I started a presence on Etsy. And, working on a brand, I like to call it the Sea Love feeling. And, to now our Candle Bar and Boutique, which is our flagship store in the heart of Dock Square in Kennebunkport.
Wow, that's so
awesome.
Exciting.
Thanks.
So the one question I would have is, and this is probably my own design ignorance, and Kim will back me up on this, that I'm not exactly the world's greatest interior designer. I've had a few hits, but many more misses.
Yes.
But what do you mean by an ambient space?
Home is just a sacred place we all love to be. And for me, it's just about creating that feeling, that ambiance, in your space. And I just wanted to create something with intention that kind of evoked the start of your day or the end of your day, how it made you feel. So,
yeah. And I think there are a lot of people. I myself, I really, really, really have always enjoyed candles, mostly for the smell, but also for the fact of it's kind of nice just having a little controlled fire. Just, I don't know. There's something about that just makes me feel some primordial connection. I don't know what it is, but it is interesting that you mentioned, the toxic properties and all of that and being bothered, because Kim is one of those people who is very sensitive to smells and to candles and things like that. So for Barry, I mean, what was it about this? Like, what were kind of some of the things that would be a problem for you?
Well, I have asthma, so a lot of times when I walk into a store that has a lot of candles, just sitting on the shelf, it will trigger my asthma. So when we're doing the research, we came to find that a lot of candles are made with paraffin wax. Paraffin wax is a byproduct of petroleum, so it's kind of like burning, gasoline in your home. And that was the key contributor to my asthma. But then as we started going down the rabbit hole of trying to be safe, we realized that a lot of candles that are imported from outside the country have lead and zinc in their wicks. And the things they use to make their scents have carcinogens in them. They have mutagens in them, reproductive toxins, acute toxins, chronic toxins. So if we were going to do it, we're going to do it right. We're going to make sure that we're not contributing to any of these things in people's homes. So not only are we going to have that nice, beautiful candle, starting fires for you, Todd, in the house, of course, we're going to also have something that's not going to be a danger to people. And that was the one thing that really set us up to have these really strict standards and feel really good about our candles when they go out to the public.
That's great.
Yeah. And just for the record, before we get any hate mail, controlled fires. That was a very important part of what I was saying. Small controlled fires. I don't want anything bigger than that because I don't want to have to be running for pails of water.
Yes.
A flickering flame.
Tom, I think you should keep to the reed diffusers and the non-flammable options we have.
It might be a good idea. I do get a little too excited when I light a candle. I just stare at it going, ooh, that's So go ahead, Kim.
No, go ahead.
No.
I was going to steal your question.
Oh,
Edit.
I see how that's working. All right. We're in competition today.
You go.
Okay. And I'm not editing that out, by the way. I want that on the record. One of the things that I'm always interested in is kind of process for people and how like the inner workings work. So what is a process like for you in deciding on a scent and then also in just even the production side? Like, how does that all work?
Yeah. So when we decide on a scent, it really has to come from a place of memory, something that inspires us. Our original candles were all inspired by the ocean and our love of just how we feel when we're at the ocean. So when we decide to create a scent, we go back to our core, having to make sure it's safe and we can get the scents that really evoke that memory or that feeling. And then we go and we do some testing. We put together 4 or 5 or 6 and sometimes 10 different scents to try and get that right combination that fits. And then we do a burn test and we see how it works. And then we take that whole scent and we give it to our team and say, which one do you think is going to say it's, the Spanish moss candle that we just put out that we wanted to think about Savannah? Which one says Savannah to you? So it's a process that takes time. You want to make sure it burns right. You want to make sure it gives that right feeling. We have the right top, middle, and bottom notes in this candle. So we just don't throw some stuff in a jar and put it out. We want to make sure it comes across as, this really does remind me of walking through the streets of Savannah, or walking on the beach, or our endless weekend, just having that good feeling of never having to stop the weekend. So it's a passion project of Stacy's. She's obsessed with creating great scents, and I'm obsessed with process. So it's kind of an in-between for both of us.
That's great.
I guess I never really thought about it, but it sounds a little bit almost like cooking. Like you need to have the right combination of spices, and you go too far in any one direction and you're way out of whack, way out of balance.
One thing I think about is, when I was growing up as a kid, I'd walk into my grandmother's house and it would always have that specific smell of what she was cooking. And that's like a memory thing to me. So I'm like, that's what inspires me, is it brings back to that memory. And Stacy takes that and takes it up to a whole nother level. And that's what I like about it, is she gets inspired by things and it just brings me right there with her. So
it's so interesting. It's true. How you can be just brought back to a childhood memory or, just these memories in your life just by a scent.
Yeah. And I think I remember someone saying that scent is is one of the senses that there's no filter. And it's almost an immediate link right to memory. Like you don't even get to think about it at all. It's just right there.
Yeah. And scent is so personal. So what might resonate with me would resonate differently with you. So might create different memories or feelings for you. So, that's where our Candle Bar and Boutique, how it was born, because scent blending is my favorite, but it is so personal. So what I have in my collection may not be others, necessarily favorite. So we wanted to offer that, for them to create their own scent.
So Sea Love is really more than just candles. Can you tell us and just share with our listeners about some of the other things that you do?
Yeah, we started, the business as a candle company, but Sea Love really has evolved to being so much more. The intention behind our clean home fragrances is, a simple aesthetic that accents any home style or decor, creating inspiration. And because we encourage refills and reusing our candle vessels, we try to limit additional waste in the world by using eco-friendly lids and dust covers that are fun to plant. And, you can watch blooms grow just by planting the dust covers, which is super fun. But, we also offer additional home fragrance products. As Barry had mentioned, the flameless option, linen and room mists, reed diffusers, and wax melts, but also coastal inspired home decor, lifestyle accents, jewelry, gifts from local small businesses and artisans. So there's truly something for everyone. I wanted to share the art of scent blending, as I mentioned, which is truly my favorite, that evokes memories of the past, but also creates new moments of their travels or visits here to Maine by blending and pouring something unique. So our intention is truly inspiration for home and life.
I love that.
So I'm just curious, like, how does that work when people come in and they're pouring their own candles? Like, how does the scent, because you're dealing with, I'm guessing 99%, and that is just a totally made up statistic. But it's our show, so I'll do it anyways. And like 99% just complete novices who have never done anything like that before. I mean, how do you kind of hold their hands or guide them through that process?
Yeah.
When we take people through the process, we want them to start by something that just speaks to them. So they start with a scent that they want to build their personal scent around. So Todd, you might resonate with crackling firewood, keeping on the theme of burning the house down. But crackling firewood might be where you want to start with your scent. And then we suggest to add some cedar to it or add some vanilla to it. So we can try and help you build your signature scent for yourself. We have suggestions on how to blend it, and we take you through the entire process where we go step by step, and you build it with your nose, as in no two scents that go out of there are going to be exactly the same, because you could have the same ingredients that I use, but I'll put more cedar in it and you'll put more vanilla in it because that's really what you wanted in your candle. So it's kind of a fun process to go through it.
Yeah, I would love to have kicked back on the crackling firewood thing, but I totally love crackling firewood too.
Well, it's out there.
I'll take you down there and visit, and we'll get you a crackling fire candle.
Good. So you've also formed partnerships with other local brands. One that I noticed on your website was Elena Marie, who's also been a guest on our show. What are some of the benefits you've found from those relationships?
Yeah, one of the biggest things that was important to me was to build a platform that created connections, right? So with our community, our retail partnerships, the collaborations with other makers, it's just such a wonderful feeling to help support and lift each other up. All of this enhances what we're all about. And it allows us to offer so much more to our customers as well as theirs when, we're helping them create their own exclusive signature candle blend. It's unique to them and their brand. So it collectively allows us to showcase businesses we love. Our blogs are always featured, whether it's a collab or a small business brand that we carry and support. So that was really important to us.
That is one of the cool things I've noticed as an outsider to the maker community, because I don't, Kim will attest, I'm not like a crafty kind of person or really even a builder or anything like that. But I do really appreciate that sense of community that seems to exist there.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It really is. So I want to ask, so you both came from corporate and then you started this business. What type of jobs did you have in corporate, and what were some of the biggest challenges going from corporate to starting this business?
Yeah, Stacy and I both came from a service type industry where she was in real estate and I ran a service company. So it was about, providing to the end user. And when we went into this, it was more of a passion project. As Stacy said, it was kind of we're going to do it for ourselves. We didn't really start out with the intention of having a business of it. We just started out with the intention of having a nice, clean burning candle in the home. So kind of by accident, we decided that this is going to be a business for us. And one of the things that was hard for us is when we decided to switch that from a passion project to a business. And when we wanted to do that, Stacy actually stayed for 3 years as a working full time, then doing this part time, and I came on in the 4th year working to do it. Immediately, we were hit with supply shortages and where to sort of be consistent with our product so we can get the finding the things that we needed. Immediately, we chose a jar that we wanted to make our candles in, and then we couldn't get it anymore. So like supply and demand was really difficult for us.
Yeah.
And then we opened our candle bar right in the middle of COVID. It was one of those, why not make something that people have to get together and not have masks on and smell their candles and, sit together and have fun and have a glass of wine when a time when you're not allowed to do that. Why not do that? That's kind of what happened to us. But we found out that with the support of the community and other makers and customers, they really wanted that. They wanted to get together. They wanted to do this. So I guess a couple of the things that were challenges for us turned into solutions because we buy in bulk. We buy so much stuff in pallet loads because we don't want to run out again, that kind of thing. So we came up with solutions for all of these things based on our customers' demand and listening to them. And it's one of the critical points to us is making sure we have happy customers. And that's kind of one of the things that we took from our service industry into this retail. I guess it's a service too, because we kind of have this whole thing going. It's one of those, we took a lot of information from before to now, but we're learning every single day.
That's great.
Yeah. Now, do you have is there any, because that is such a huge pivot point,
it really is.
when you go from, this is something I really like doing and I do it out of passion, and it makes a few bucks, or, maybe it might not make a few bucks and you think it might, but then shifting over and saying, I want to do this as a career, or I want to do this as a living. Do you have any advice for other people who haven't quite gotten to that point or are contemplating that pivot? Any advice, having gone through it, that you would give to them?
Yeah, it's a frightening leap of faith to take something that you're passionate about and then jump in. But one thing I would say is if you're focused on it and you're focused on providing something special, do it. There's no reason not to do it. Your success is limited by your brainwave. That's not limited by anything else. So, Stacy and I push each other to, when we get to a point where we're like, okay, I can't do this, or I'm having trouble with this, we push each other beyond that limit. We're so outside of our comfort zone from 3 years ago right now with everything we have going on, but I couldn't imagine doing anything different. So
that's great.
I think having a support team behind you and it's people pushing you is really important.
Yeah, essentially, I couldn't have done this without his support, and his full backing and encouragement. So, besides making a great team, having, like you said, having somebody that can help you create the solutions. Having a small business these times, these days are challenging enough,
right?
But to have to always think out of the box and really stretch your comfort zones to making those big risks and taking challenges. And I think, just believing in what you're doing is key.
That's great. So do you have,
oh, wait a minute. You're going to ask this next one?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to give a heads up to that. We don't usually do gotcha questions, but Kim has got one here for you.
So you offer making personal scents at the Candle Bar. What are some of your favorite scents or candles? Do you have, if you could, from each of you, if you could just name one, what would that be?
I love a calming candle. I love anything that has like a spa botanical scent behind it. So lavender, lemon blends, that kind of thing. So, and it's also very popular in the Candle Bar.
Oh, I bet.
So for me, our Endless Weekend candle is the best candle out there. So it's citrusy, it's clean, it invigorates me, it wakes me up. So I love that candle.
Great.
Just so weird. This just happened to me, and I'm not even smelling it, but I'm just remembering it, and I can actually smell it in my memory. But I used to work at a place, and they had, I can't even remember if it was candles or if it was just scent packs or something like that or whatever it was. And they had mulberry. And right now I can actually smell mulberry in my mind, even though I'm not smelling my nose. And it's the weirdest thing
That
that
is
is
weird.
that has happened. I just felt like I wanted to share that. And now
Yeah,
everyone,
that's
now between the little contained fires and the crackling wood and
Ooh,
this,
that would be a nice blend. Yeah,
I'm
that's
a
unique.
complete certified weirdo, according to our listeners.
That's
Oh my
interesting.
goodness. All right. Back to the questions and off of my therapy session. What are some of the projects right now that you're working on that you're kind of really excited about for this next year?
Yeah. So for me, I'm always excited about the challenge of creating. I love that creative part of, the business. We just released our new spring collection, and I'm already thinking of new blends for our summer and fall collection, which is so exciting. I'm excited about working on some new self-care products this year, which is always fun, and super challenging at the same time. But mostly, I'm excited about our move to a new location. We're actually going to move our current production to a beautiful 5,000 square foot space in the Biddeford Mill, opening in May.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yay,
Yeah,
exciting.
it's very exciting.
Right in our neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
we live in Saco, so we're right there. I can't wait to come
Hmm.
visit.
Fantastic. Yeah, we're really excited about it. There we'll have room to grow our wholesale business, offer a unique retail shopping experience, as well as offering like a different intimate scent blending and candle making workshop. So
Mhm.
for 20 people or more, this is going to be great for like corporate team building events, bridal parties, holiday parties. Currently, we can only fit about 10 to 12 people at our flagship in Kennebunkport. So here we'll have a more intimate experience for larger parties, which is
That's great.
starting to get more popular.
So you also have some exciting news because
Yeah.
can you tell us about that?
Sure. Yeah. For me, I'm super excited about the possibility of offering this business opportunity to other people. We're in the process of franchising our Sea Love Candle Bar and Boutique with the encouragement of our customers. This is where we came down with this, is when we were doing this last year during the pandemic, people were asking if this was a franchise. Could they buy a franchise? And why not share this with other people? It's been good to us. We want it to be good for them.
That's
This is
fantastic.
we are so excited about that. So by the end of the second quarter, we should be of this year, 2022, we should be able to start offering franchises.
How exciting.
Wow.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, it's such a
Thank you.
cool idea. Like, who doesn't really like candles? Really.
Yeah.
I don't
People
trust.
with asthma and think they're going to die from them. Like I was never a candle fan until
Yeah.
Stacy made this amazing candle, and now
Yeah.
it's part of my life.
That's fantastic.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
So this is just it just sounds like just such an amazing business model, and you guys have come just so far. So we always like to ask this question because we like to see just the different answers. But how would you say that each of you? How would you say you define success?
So personally, I define success by the number of people's lives we touch in a positive way. So from our customers creating their scents to our employees who have careers and not just jobs, they're part of the whole process, to our brand ambassadors and our other makers that we have in our shop, and we're supporting their small businesses, and now to our franchisees moving out there and their success. I think it's important not to create a job for yourself, but create a purpose. And our purpose is to lift people up. And I think it really does that.
I love that. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tend, I kind of ditto that fully 100%. One of the biggest, I guess, challenges when you want to, I'm kind of backtracking a little bit, but when you want to start, create a business from a passion, not to doubt yourself, really, because it can be really easy to do when you doubt something that that could be, turned into something. I'm really hard on myself sometimes. I think a lot of people are. They tend to be their worst critics, in terms of, always wanting to perfect things. And one of my biggest challenges was not growing because I was more focused on perfection rather than progress. So, that's one of the things that I try to focus on the most is as long as you're moving forward and, working towards progress over perfection, so much can happen. So that's kind of how it's kind of how I define, the success is we have come very far, and, it's not perfect. And like Barry said, we're learning every day, but, we can feel good about at least what we're doing today.
That's a great quote. Progress over perfection.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah.
I need to remember that.
Most of us do.
Yeah.
It's my daily motto.
So another question that we always like to ask, because we are admitted inspiration junkies, is who or what inspires you, either personally or professionally?
Yeah, for me, it's our customers. They inspire me. Our online tribe, our Candle Love Club tribe, which is our candle subscription subscribers. We have brand ambassadors. Of course, our incredible Maine community, which is just tremendous. It's our community here is fantastic, and we have I just started an all new Maine Women in Business monthly meetup, which is really inspiring. When we get together, we lift each other up and support, each other, cheer each other on through all the challenges and, that a small business can bring. Yeah. But, social media too, all the shares and the likes when people visit, make candles with us, just the messages. When you get messages that say all their dreams have come true because they can finally feel good about burning a candle in their home, it's just pure magic.
Love that.
How about you, Barry?
Yeah, for me, there's a couple of inspirations, but first is Stacy. Really, she with her crazy mad scientist way and going at things just 100 miles an hour. It's unbelievable the amount of things she's always doing. I mean, she's up at 3 a.m. doing things. She's up, running from here to there doing things. Just the amount she takes on really is inspiring to me and keeps me from being super lazy. So that would be one. But 1A would be just our customers when they come into the candle bar and boutique and how happy they are to create their own scent. I don't think I've seen anybody who has not had a great time doing it. It is just an awesome experience, whether you're 4 years old or you're 90 years old. Just making a candle is something that you can always remember. So I get inspired by them too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We totally didn't even get to the subscription service that you guys offer, and you can sign up on the website, and I imagine you could even sign up at the store. But that's a really cool, is it a monthly box that people get? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, it's a monthly or quarterly subscription box that you can just have delivered to your door. It started through COVID, which was our intention behind, a lot of the online uptick in our online sales. And people were gifting candles, which was phenomenal. It was super fun to share the joy of candles. But one of the things that I'm excited about doing is because I was creating the scent seasonally. So the subscribers are getting exclusive scents that are not offered on the website or in our boutique. And so what I've been doing now is actually polling through Instagram some of the scent blends that our chandlers are making. So our customers are coming in and they're creating candles, they're naming their candles, and I'm taking those scent blends and I'm actually polling them to our subscribers. So essentially our subscribers are choosing the monthly candle scents that are being sent to them monthly.
That's
so
great.
It's truly a candle community.
I love it.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Stacy, Barry, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and talking with us and sharing a lot about your business and also just about things I think will be helpful for other business owners, but also inspirational for those people who are just kind of love hearing these stories. So thank you so much for that.
Yes,
I'll be sure that we have a link to your website, and people encourage them to go to sealove.com and be able to shop your store with all kinds of different products. Also check out the blog because that is really cool. And I'll also have links to social media as well. And we wish you great success this coming year.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you both so much.
Oh, it's been our pleasure.
It's been our pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsor and encourage you to check them out through the link in the show notes. And thank you again for listening.